2024 may have been a turbulent time for all classic car sales, but there were still plenty of cars changing hands at the top end of the market. The USA also continues to be the center of auction sales because only 4 cars in this list were sold outside North America. Number 30, $4,295,000. Proving that early Ferraris are always in demand by serious collectors, this 1953 250 Europa Coupe sold strongly with Sotheby's in Miami back in March. The pretty lines and striking two-tone paintwork made it stand out, and it is one of just 3 250s to be finished with the bodywork and used the 3-liter Colombo V12 engine. This car's appeal was further enhanced by it being used as the 1953 Paris Motor Show car. Following a full rebuild by Patrick Otis, this 250 Europa was sold with Ferrari Classic certification to prove its matching number status. It also came with a number of high-profile awards to its credit. Number 29, $4,295,000. This Enzo was notable for achieving the highest Ferrari price in the Sotheby's sale of the Dare to Dream collection in Toronto, Canada. In the overall scheme of 2024, however, its sale price puts it in equal 28th place. This Enzo was an early car from the production run and the first to arrive in North America. It was also the car used by Ferrari to show off its new Enzo at the 2003 Cavallino Classic in Palm Beach, so this car has some bragging rights. Unusually, this example came fitted with a European spec ECU when new, though this was later replaced to a US version at no cost for the first owner. Number 28, $4,295,000. Being the first of any rare model helps at auction, and this Porsche 935 enjoyed that assistance at Gooding & Company's Pebble Beach sale in August. This 1976 the factory prototype 935 generated plenty of interest among Porsche fans. This was helped even more by this car's success at Watkins Glen and a third overall at Dijon in its first year of racing. It was sold following a full restoration by Cavalieri Restorations, plus it was also billed as the only Martini Racing Porsche 935 in private ownership. Number 27, $4,336,250. This Huira is one of 2 Paganis to make it into the top 30 sales of 2024, showing the Italian Hypercar company is now well and truly considered among the likes of the Ferrari Enzo and Porsche 918. The fact this car is one of just 20 Huira BC cars made with a narrower focus on track driving added to its appeal. It has also been upgraded to Pachetto Tempesta specification with improved aerodynamics, suspension, and even more power from its 6-liter V12 twin-turbo engine. It might have helped that this Huira was sold at the Sotheby's Dubai auction in December, where the market for classic cars is still developing at a fast rate. Number 26, $4,405,000. This particular Ford GT40 is known as the hostage car because it was kept by Swiss dealer Scuderia Filippinetti for an extended time after it appeared at the 1967 Geneva Motor Show. Such an unusual past helped its allure to bidders at Broad Arrow Auctions' Amelia Island sale in March. Originally sold as a road car, this GT40 now has an FIA Historic Technical Passport so it can compete in all of the best events. The car was offered in ready-to-use form for road or track, and its original color and unbroken history from new further enhanced its provenance. Number 25, $4,510,000. The second of 2 Ferrari Enzos to make it into the top 30 sales of 2024, this one went across the block in Mecum's Kissimmee sale in January. Its hammer price made it the 3rd most expensive Enzo ever sold at auction to date. Bidding for this car was keen because it was one of only 6 finished in attractive gray metallic paint. Inside, there was black leather upholstery with red stitching to continue the restrained look. The car had full service records, a Ferrari Classics report, and all of its original tools and books. It also came with a Marcel Massini report. Number 24, $4,675,000. This LaFerrari is the only example of Ferrari's hybrid hypercar to make it into 2024's top 30 auction sales, though it is one of 17 of the Italian firm's cars to feature. Finished in an unusual cream exterior with cream leather interior, it was specified when new by U.S. rock star and Van Halen band member Sammy Hagar. The car was sold by Barrett-Jackson at its Scottsdale fall auction in October and included a scale model of the car gifted by Ferrari to Hagar when he took delivery. It also has a plaque signed by Hagar from when the car was displayed at the Quail. With only 1,566 miles from new when it crossed the block, this LaFerrari also came with a new hybrid battery fitted by Ferrari of San Francisco. Number 23, $4,900,000. The greatest number of cars from a single mark in the Sotheby's Dare to Dream collection sale in Toronto, Canada was from Ferrari. However, the highest sale price went to this Lamborghini Miura SV. Making just shy of $5 million on the day, this SV also became the most expensive Miura of its type to be sold at auction up to that point. One of 150 Miura SVs made, this one came with full matching numbers and had previously been in the collection of the singer J.K. A detailed restoration of the car had been carried out by Cremonini Carrozzeria, and the car was then certified by Lamborghini's Polo Storico for its authenticity. Number 22, $5,120,000. More recent racing cars can be difficult to value or find buyers for, but this Ferrari 333 SP Evoluzione had no such trouble, even if it did sell for quite a lot less than its lower estimate at Gooding & Company's Pebble Beach sale in August. One of 9 cars built by Dallara, this example came with a bulging race CV that saw 6 podiums in 1995 and a further 7 in 1997 in the IMSA Sports Car Championships. This impressive history included wins at Halifax, Lime Rock, Pikes Peak, and Sebring. With a 4-liter V12 and sold in ready-to-use condition, the 333 SP was a solid route into historic motorsport with a Ferrari. Number 21, $5,175,000. The Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus is a car that was an instant classic the moment it rolled off the line. That sort of appeal helps the Chiron in this form to mix with blue-chip, established classic cars on price and at events. It's one of only 8 Supersport 300 Plus models produced for the U.S. market out of a total of 30 such cars made. Each has a 1,578 brake horsepower, 8-liter W16 quad-turbo engine that propels the car to a top speed of 304 miles per hour, hence the 300 Plus in its name. This car came with delivery mileage only showing on the clocks, plus it had its original documentation. Number 20, $5,200,000. The Pebble Beach auctions are a good barometer for the market, and this Ferrari reflected the general trend for lower prices in 2024 than in recent years. It sold for slightly below estimate at Gooding & Company's auction, but was decent value for the buyer. The last of 17 Louvre Tour de France 250s made, it was delivered new to U.S. Ferrari dealer and racing driver George Reed. The car finished second in class at the Sebring 12 Hours in 1958 and was that year's Sports Car Club of America production champion. Finished in its original paint scheme and still with its matching numbers engine, this 250 GT TDF Coupe also benefited from a Marcel Massini report to confirm its history and condition. Number 19, $5,285,000. Sotheby's included this 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB4 Alloy Coupe in its August Monterey sale. The car was always likely to cause a stir among the Ferrari faithful because it had the most racing success in period for this model. It's the only 275 to have achieved a major international victory when it took first in class of 69 at the 24 Hours of Daytona with Sam Posey and Ricardo Rodriguez driving. The car was also used on the road later in its life before it was certified by Ferrari Classisch in 2012, which issued a white book to preserve the car's original racing modifications. As well as its race history and being one of only 16 alloy-bodied, this example also stood out at auction for its matching numbers bodywork and drivetrain. Number 18, $5,350,000. A mere 4 857 Sport Spiders were made by Ferrari, so any of this model that comes to auction generates a lot of interest. Despite this, Gooding & Company's example at its Pebble Beach sale in August sold for less than the lower estimate. That lower price was something of a surprise, given this was the last of the 4 857 Sport Spiders made and had been driven in period by Carroll Shelby and Jack McAfee. More recently, this car had been subject to a detailed restoration by DK Engineering in the UK and was being sold with its matching numbers engine fitted. Number 17, $5,444,000. One of only 4 cars in this top 30 to sell outside North America, this 1958 Ferrari 250 GT long-wheelbase California Spider crossed the block at its Monaco auction in May. There is always a buzz surrounding the sale of any 250 California Spider, and this one caught the attention for being the 12th made. It also came with a complete, unbroken history. Delivered new to New York, first owner Robert Gumper kept it for 10 years. It was sold painted in metallic gray, but the original color is not known. An in-depth restoration headed by the Brandoli family had been carried out on this car, and Ferrari Classic certification followed. Number 16, $5,505,000. The sole Ferrari F50 to make it into the top 30 2024 auction results. It shows the mid-1990s limited edition supercar is gaining on its F40 sibling in popularity. This F50 at the Sotheby's Monterey sale in August was the 47th out of 349 built and had covered just 8,500 miles when it arrived at auction. It was also a platinum winner at the 2023 Cavallino Classic Palm Beach event. As one of 55 F50s sold new to the U.S., this car had spent its entire life there. Ferrari Red Book and Classic certification, the original toolkit in black leather cases, and even the tire inflator supplied when new. Number 15, $5,615,000. Already one of the most glamorous cars ever to grace the road, this particular Ferrari 250 GT long-wheelbase California Spider was made even more glitzy thanks to its role in the 1967 Italian film Le Dolce Signore. Finished in the original color scheme of Nero black with a Rosso red leather interior, this 250 came to auction from 19 years with its previous owner. It is the 19th car of 50 made of this type, plus had its original, matching numbers engine in place. A restoration in the 1990s by Phil Riley and Company was wearing very well, and the car has also featured in 2 of the definitive books on the model. Number 14, $5,804,000. This Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase was the star of Arcurial's Monaco sale in May. It's easy to see why when the car was finished in the unusual color of blue with a red leather interior when it was ordered by Norman Blank. However, Blank didn't take delivery of the car, and it was sold instead to a Dr. Anderson from Florida after it was displayed on the Ferrari stand at the 1962 New York Auto Show. Dr. Anderson clearly enjoyed the car because it had almost 100,000 miles on the clock when he sold it, and subsequent owners added a further 30,000 miles to that impressive tally. In the early 2000s, this Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase was restored to its factory specification, complete with its original engine, gearbox, and body. Despite this, when sold in May 2024, its hammer price was some way short of the lower estimate. Number 13, $6,605,000. The late Peter Mullen's superb collection included many special cars, but few as rare as this 1938 Bugatti Type 57C with Aerovist special cabriolet bodywork. Gooding and Company handled the sale, and it was one of the few cars in 2024 to rocket past its higher estimate and sell for significantly more. With a sale price of $6,605,000 and high estimate of $3.5 million, it was close to doubling that upper pre-sale guide. As well as the provenance of coming from the Mullen collection, this Bugatti Type 57 was one of only 4 built with this coachwork from Gangloff. Further adding to this example's rarity is it is one of only 2 of those cars made on a supercharged Type 57C chassis. An exemplary restoration helped this car achieve its superb sale price, as well as a history that includes Bugatti Works driver Maurice Trintignant as its first owner, who raced it in the 1939 Grand Prix du Comminges. Number 12, $6,930,000. The versatility of the Ford GT40 as a race, road, and touring car explains why there are 3 in this top 30 list. This one sits in the middle of the trio and was sold by Mecum in January at its Kissimmee auction. It achieved an impressive price, which was due to this road car version's superb condition following a nut and bolt restoration by RUF Automobiles. This was while the car was with the same owner for 30 years, during which time it was rarely seen in public, so there was a lot of interest in the car for this reason too. One of 30 GT40 road cars built in period, this one was sold with competition options from new. It is rated as one of the best and most original GT40s in the world, and it has never been in an accident. Number 11, $7,045,000. Both Porsche cars that make it into the top 30 auction sales of 2024 are racing models, with this 97 GT1 Renversion the most expensive. It was sold by Broad Arrow Auctions in August at its Monterey event. As one of only 9 customer GT1s produced, it was campaigned by the German Rook racing team in the 1997 FIA GT Championship. It competed at that year's Le Mans 24 Hours, with Alan McNish and Stefan Ortelli sharing the drive. It also won 4 races in the 1997 IMSA GT-S1 class in the U.S. Even with a long race history behind it, this 911 GT1 has never been severely damaged or dismantled, so its superb condition helped its auction appeal. Number 10, $7,865,000. This 69 car was one of just 10 factory competition lightweight versions made. This included bodywork made from thinner materials, and this example has been authenticated by Ronnie Spain. Although made for racing, this car came to auction with Mecum at its Monterey sale in August, complete with its 289 cubic inches V8 engine fitted. It also had its matching numbers gearbox, chassis, and bodywork all intact. Number 9, $8,034,000. This Ferrari 312 T4 is the only Formula One car to make it into the top 30 auction sales of 2024, but it is one of 5 Ferraris in the top 10 places. Few cars can come to auction with a more direct link to its maker and driver as this car, which was sold by Sotheby's in Monaco and made direct from Jody Schechter's private collection, bought from the factory in 1982, and he was the sole owner. While it would take some work to make the 312 T4 ready to race in historic events, it came in exactly the condition it left the factory, with worn seatbelts and all matching numbers. Number 8, $9,355,000. This rare Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing with an alloy body making such a high figure when it was sold by Sotheby's in October 2024, as part of the Rudy Klein Collection auction in Los Angeles. Thought to have been bought new by Luigi Chinetti, U.S. Ferrari importer and Le Mans winner, it had not been seen for 50 years outside of Klein's yard. The collector bought the car from Chinetti, so the car has a direct history. Presented in completely unrestored form, the 300 SL still has its original engine, gearbox, back axle, steering, and body. It also came with its delivery documents from Mercedes. Although not in its factory paint scheme, this car's appeal was further helped by it being the 26th of 29 alloy Gullwings made. Number 7, $10,661,000. This Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase Competizione was built to compete in the 1960 12 Hours of Sebring. It gave the car an added excitement when it was consigned to the Sotheby's Paris auction back in January. When new, this Ferrari was raced by George Arentz and Bill Kimberly, and Arentz was the car's first owner. This car finished 7th overall in the Sebring race and 5th in class. It went on to be used by several other well-known racing drivers of the time. A full restoration was carried out in 2014, where the car was confirmed to still have its original, matching numbers engine, rear axle, and chassis. It came with a Ferrari Classic certificate which noted how original the body is. Number 6, $11,086,250. The second Pagani to make it, this Zonda LM Roadster sold for more than twice as much as the Pagani Huira BC, also included here. While all Zondas are rare, this 760 LM Roadster is unique and was commissioned by its first owner as a one-off. A coupe version with the same race-inspired bodywork was made, while the Roadster was said to be the most complex car Pagani had produced up to that time. It has a 7.3-liter V12 engine supplied by Mercedes-AMG and showed just under 6,000 miles on the dials at the time of the sale. Number 5, $12,105,000. This large, pioneering car came to auction with Gooding & Company from 121 years of continuous, single-family ownership. It had also taken part in many London to Brighton veteran runs, as well as enjoying period race success in the 1903 Castlewellan Hill Climb and at Nice Speed Week. It was sold at Amelia Island in February 2024 and fetched considerably more than its upper estimate. It was aided in this by its superb history, which also included more than 6 decades as an exhibit at the National Motor Museum at Beaulieu in the UK. Number 4, $12,985,000. Ferrari only made four 410S cars, and this one is unique because it was a 410 Sport Speciale that was transformed into a racing car for its privateer owner, Tony Paravano. A keen racer, Paravano bought it after a string of previous Ferraris. It was tailor-made to his specification with a longer tail than normal and a larger oval grille and bonnet air intake. The car went with Paravano when he fled to Mexico in 1957 for tax evasion, and the car was subsequently sold there in 1960. It then returned to the U.S. in the 70s and also spent time in Germany. It was restored in 2014, and it is the only one to retain its original engine because the others were damaged in racing. Number 3, $14,030,000. This Alfa Romeo 8C2900B Lungo Spider arrived at auction in Pebble Beach in August with a who's who of notable collectors as former owners. Such provenance has helped this car reach the state of near perfection in which it was sold by Gooding and Company. It was also the first time this car had ever been sold at public auction. One of only 5 long chassis 8C2900B Touring Spiders in existence, this car had taken top honors with Best of Show at Villa d'Este in 1996 and first in class at Pebble Beach in 2000. The car was first bought by Antonio Scalera of Rome, and it was sold with an acceptance to the 2025 Mille for its new owner. Number 2, $17,055,000. A difference in sale time of a few months possibly accounts for this Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase California Spider selling for slightly less than the one that occupies the top spot. Both are superb examples, but the market had certainly cooled by the middle of the year when this car was sold by Sotheby's at its Monterey sale in August. As the very first 250 GT short wheelbase California Spider built, this car's sale was keenly anticipated. It was shown at the 1960 Geneva Auto Salon on Ferrari's stand and was fitted from new with a competition spec engine, covered headlights, and removable factory hardtop. Presented in its original colors of grigio with a red leather interior, the car had been used regularly by the owner who consigned it to the auction. It also came with Ferrari Classic certification, plus its matching numbers engine, gearbox, and drivetrain. Number 1, $17,875,000. Sold at its January sale in Kissimmee, Mecum found bidding was busy on this 1963 car. It was immaculately presented in red with a tan leather interior and had been restored by Patrick Otis in California. It was sold new through Charles Retzegi Motors in San Francisco, and the car retains its original chassis, engine, and body, plus owner's manuals and tool roll. This was the final 250 GT short wheelbase California Spider built by Ferrari out of 55 produced, and came with a Ferrari Classic certificate and Marcel Massini report.
But wait a minute, you didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy.